The scene opens with a vast, silent Earth, covered in the rubble of what was once a thriving planet. Buildings that once held millions of lives now lie in ruins, swallowed by time and destruction. The wind blows through the empty streets, carrying only echoes of the past. The camera drifts over what used to be great cities, now turned to ghost towns. There are no signs of life, just the haunting remnants of humanity's former glory. A lone figure, Lieutenant Isaac Quinn, steps out from a crumbling building. His breath forms clouds in the frozen air, his eyes scanning the horizon. Quinn is the last human standing in this desolate wasteland. As Quinn moves through the ruins, the silence is overwhelming. He walks past the skeletons of once bustling cities, the technology that powered the world now obsolete and rusted. In the distance, a massive alien fleet hovers in low orbit, their ships resembling monstrous, gleaming machines of war. The Orcs, a terrifying alien race, are closing in on Earth, preparing for the final blow. The tension in the air is palpable. Quinn's face shows exhaustion, but his eyes are fierce with determination. His comm unit crackles, and a voice breaks through the static. "This is Lieutenant Quinn. We have one last chance." His voice trembles slightly, but it's filled with resolve. He's all alone now. His comrades are gone, and Earth is on the brink of annihilation. But deep down, Quinn believes there is still hope, however slim. The camera zooms out, revealing the icy wasteland where Quinn stands, an unforgiving landscape that was once Earth's final defense. An Arctic military base, buried deep beneath layers of snow and ice, is now his only hope. But as Quinn approaches the base, everything seems abandoned. The entrance is frozen shut, the halls deserted. Quinn's steps echo in the empty corridors as he searches desperately for something that could turn the tide. Suddenly, Quinn's eyes catch something, a faint light blinking through the ice. It's a hidden control panel, half buried and covered in frost. He brushes away the ice, revealing an old, but still functional, cryogenic facility. His heart races as he realizes what this place could mean. This is it. Humanity's last weapon, frozen in time, waiting to be unleashed. The super soldiers, genetically enhanced to be faster, stronger, and smarter than any normal human, are kept in cryostasis, awaiting the day they would rise again. Quinn reaches for the activation button, his fingers trembling with anticipation. He knows this is humanity's final hope. With a deep breath, Quinn presses the button, and a low hum fills the air. The countdown begins. As the cryochamber doors slowly open, a glimmer of hope flickers in the midst of the devastation. It's not over yet. The camera lingers on Quinn's face, the first signs of hope breaking through his hardened expression. This is just the beginning. The scene shifts abruptly, and the quiet of Earth's ruined landscapes fades into chaos. A violent, alien storm descends upon the planet, and the sky turns dark with the silhouettes of massive ships blocking out the sun. These ships, massive, sleek, and far beyond any technology humans could even dream of, are the Orcs. The Orcs are not just a race of aliens, but an empire built on technology and artificial intelligence. They have conquered countless worlds before Earth, and now, they set their sights on humanity. It's not just the ships that are terrifying. The Orcs have perfected the art of war, using cloaking technology that makes their massive fleets invisible, and AI-controlled robotic armies that can think, adapt, and evolve. Each robot is a precise killing machine, designed for one purpose, to wipe out the human race. Their ships can shoot lasers that vaporize entire cities in an instant, and their soldiers are programmed to be relentless, cold, and efficient. The flashback starts with a peaceful Earth, full of life, people going about their daily routines, unaware of the impending doom. But within hours, everything changes. A sudden ripple in space. A huge explosion in the sky. It's the first sign that Earth is about to be invaded, and that sign comes too late. The Orcs fleet arrives without warning, their ships cloaked and invisible to Earth's radar. The first cities are obliterated in seconds by orbital bombardments, leaving nothing but dust and fire. Lieutenant Isaac Quinn, now a battle-hardened soldier, is seen in the middle of one of Earth's last defense strongholds. A massive wall of fire and explosions is visible in the distance. The enemy is here. The human military, despite their best efforts, is outmatched. They can't even see their enemies. Every missile they launch disappears into the void, useless against the cloaked alien ships. Every tank, every fighter jet, every soldier is useless against the Vorex's advanced weaponry. In the middle of the chaos, Quinn recalls the day the invasion began. He was stationed in New York City, one of Earth's busiest and most fortified regions. The sky cracked open, and the first Vorex ship appeared, invisible to human eyes until it was too late. Quinn remembers the panic that spread through the streets as people saw the first alien ships break through the clouds. "They're here," someone had whispered, and that single sentence sent a shockwave through the city. It was the first moment humanity realized they weren't the most advanced species anymore. Quinn was part of a special unit that was sent to defend New York City's last stronghold, the Fortress Command. The soldiers were well trained, but they had no idea they were facing an enemy that was centuries ahead in terms of technology. The Vorex deployed robotic drones that moved faster than any human soldier. They were equipped with energy shields that reflected every bullet, every missile, every laser. The drones were intelligent, using advanced AI to adapt to any form of attack. As Quinn and his team fought against the robotic army, he saw his comrades fall one by one. First, Sergeant Taylor, a quick-witted soldier with a knack for strategy, was struck down by a Vorex drone. His body collapsed in front of Quinn as the machine's laser sliced through his chest. "No!" Quinn had shouted, but it was too late. Sergeant Taylor was gone, and with him, the last hope that humanity might have a fighting chance. As the battle raged on, Quinn was forced to retreat into the underground bunkers with the rest of the survivors. Earth's military tried their best to fight back, but there was no hope. The Vorex had brought far more advanced weaponry, and their AI-controlled general, known as Eros, was masterminding their attacks. General Eros wasn't just a leader, it was an intelligent system, a machine that could predict every human move and outsmart them at every turn. In one key battle, Quinn's team attempted to destroy a Vorex communications tower in the hopes of disrupting the alien forces' coordination. But as they neared the tower, they were met with an army of drones, far more than they had expected. The battle that followed was nothing short of brutal. Quinn's team fought valiantly, but their weapons were no match for the Vorex drone's speed and firepower. The enemy AI was calculating, able to predict every move, every attack. With every soldier they lost, the morale of the remaining humans began to fade. Quinn remembers the moment he knew humanity was losing. It was when they tried to launch a counterattack from the last remaining military base, a stronghold in the mountains, designed to withstand any attack. The humans fired everything they had, missiles, fighter jets, and laser cannons, but nothing seemed to work. The Vorex ships were cloaked, and their weapons were too powerful. No matter how hard humanity fought, it was clear that Earth had no chance. It was then that the AI-controlled Vorex general, Eros, made the decision to execute the final phase of the invasion. The robots and drones surged forward, cutting down every resistance they encountered. Quinn's team watched in horror as the Vorex general issued a cold declaration over the comms: "Earth is unworthy of life. Prepare for extermination." That was when the first orbital bombardment came, turning entire cities into ash. Quinn and his team had no choice but to retreat further into the underground bunkers. As they moved deeper into the earth, Quinn looked back one last time at the burning sky above. His heart was heavy with the knowledge that the world as he knew it was gone. With the fall of New York, the Vorex quickly moved to destroy other key cities across the planet. They were unstoppable. Every human city fell in a matter of days. Earth's defenses were overrun, and its people scattered into small groups, hiding and fighting for survival. But even as the last remnants of humanity retreated, the Vorks never stopped hunting. Their drones were everywhere, their AI was everywhere, and the darkness of the alien fleet hung over the planet like a shadow that would never lift. Quinn's flashback ends with the image of the Vorks flagship, looming over Earth, casting an ominous shadow. The alien fleet has already wiped out most of humanity. But just as the Vorks declare victory, one final message is sent from deep within Earth's frozen wastelands, a message from Lieutenant Quinn, the last man standing, reaching out for one final chance. The Vorks are on their way back, and Quinn knows that Earth's survival depends on one last hope. But what hope could humanity have left against such overwhelming odds? That question hangs in the air as the flashback ends and Quinn's voice cuts through the silence. We've got one last chance. The camera zooms in on Lieutenant Quinn, standing in the dimly lit control room of the Arctic base. His hands tremble as he scans the cryogenic chambers in front of him. He looks down at the activation button, his heart racing. Outside, the rumble of the alien fleet can be heard, growing louder by the second. Quinn knows that if he doesn't act now, Earth is lost forever. For a moment, Quinn hesitates. He's alone, everyone he's known is gone. The soldiers who fought beside him are dead, the cities he once protected are reduced to rubble. The only hope for humanity lies in a group of people who have been frozen in time for decades, the genetically enhanced super soldiers. These soldiers, created as humanity's ultimate weapon, hold the key to taking back Earth from the Vorks. Quinn steps forward and presses the activation button. A loud hum fills the room as the cryochambers begin to open. Inside the chambers are 3 soldiers, each in a state of deep, frozen sleep. They were supposed to be the last line of defense, humanity's secret weapon. Now, Quinn is about to wake them up, hoping they can perform a miracle. The first soldier to awaken is Captain Nora Voss. Her eyes snap open, glowing with an unnatural intensity. She rises from the chamber with the precision of a predator. Her features are strong and commanding, and her body is clad in an advanced combat suit designed for maximum protection and flexibility. She is a born leader, a woman who has spent her life preparing for battle. As she stands, stretching her limbs, she looks at Quinn with a sharp gaze. "Quinn," she says, her voice low but filled with authority. "What's going on? Why was I asleep?" Her mind races, and she quickly assesses the situation. She looks at the destruction on the screens before her and understands immediately. "Earth's been taken, Captain," Quinn responds, his voice barely above a whisper. "The Vorks are coming to finish the job. You and your team are all we have left." Voss doesn't hesitate. "Then we'll fight. What's our plan?" Next, Sergeant Ethan Drake wakes up, his eyes slowly opening, as though he's just woken from a long rest. He's a man in his early 30s, tall and lean, with an analytical mind that has made him one of Earth's greatest military strategists. Drake's combat suit is slightly different. He wears a helmet with a visor that can analyze enemy movements in real time. He stretches his arms, looking around with a sense of confusion at first, before his sharp mind catches up with reality. "Captain? Lieutenant?" Drake's voice is calm, yet curious. "What's the situation?" Quinn steps forward, his face grim. "The Vorks have invaded. They've wiped out most of Earth's defenses. They've already destroyed the major cities, and they're returning to finish us off. You're the last line of defense. You and your team." Drake processes this for a moment, his mind working at full speed. "Then we need to strike fast. We can't let them finish what they started. We'll take back Earth, one battle at a time." Finally, the third soldier, Bonner, slowly stirs in his cryochamber. Bonner is different from the others. He was once a scientist, a brilliant mind who helped design the genetic enhancements that made the super soldiers what they are. But his mind, once devoted to research, was repurposed for combat when the war took a darker turn. His transformation into a soldier wasn't just physical, it was mental. As Bonner wakes, his eyes are slower to adjust. He's been in cryogenic sleep for longer than the others, and his mind takes a bit more time to come back online. When his eyes finally open, he takes in his surroundings, blinking in confusion. Quinn stands before him, looking at him with a mix of awe and fear. Bonner's transformation is complete. He's no longer the man he once was, but something more. He's stronger, faster, and more dangerous than any human has a right to be. Bonner, Quinn says, his voice thick with emotion. The Vorks are here. They've destroyed Earth. You're our last hope. Bonner's eyes flicker, and his mind immediately starts to process the information. He remembers everything, the experiments, the enhancements, the weapons. He's ready. As his body reacts to the command, he stands up, his towering frame casting a long shadow over the room. Let's finish this, Bonner says, his voice low and steady. Quinn looks at the three super soldiers, knowing they are humanity's last hope. Each of them is different, but they share a common purpose, to take back their planet, to avenge their fallen comrades, and to stop the Vorks from wiping out the human race. As they prepare for battle, Quinn briefs them on the situation. He tells them about the destruction of Earth's cities, the fall of the military, and the current location of the Vorks fleet. Voss, Drake, and Bonner absorb the information quickly, their enhanced minds processing everything at lightning speed. We don't have much time, Voss says, turning to the others. We need to hit them hard and fast. If we let them regroup, they'll wipe us out before we have a chance. Drake nods, already calculating their strategy. We'll need to use the Arctic base to our advantage. It's the last place where we have a chance to strike. We can take their ships down, one by one, using guerrilla tactics. They won't expect us to fight back. Bonner steps forward, his face hardening. I'll take out their drones. They'll be no match for me. The team exchanges determined looks. They may have been asleep for years, but their training, their enhancements, and their will to survive are still alive. They are soldiers. And they are ready to reclaim their planet. As they don their combat suits, the camera zooms in on each soldier's face, capturing their resolve. Voss's eyes burn with the fire of a leader who will not let her people fall. Drake's mind is already working, devising a plan that will strike where the Vorks least expect it. Bonner is the silent warrior, his face an impenetrable mask, ready to tear through any enemy in his path. Together, they are the ultimate weapon humanity has left. As Quinn looks at them, he realizes that despite all the losses, despite the hopelessness of their situation, there is one thing left, hope. With the super soldiers awakened, humanity now has a chance to fight back, to take back what the Vorks have stolen. The countdown to their mission begins. Earth may be broken, but the super soldiers are here to change the course of history. The battle for humanity's future begins now. The scene opens with the first attack of the super soldiers against the Vorks, a mission full of tension and calculated risk. The soldiers are not fighting a traditional war, they are engaging in guerrilla warfare, a form of combat that uses stealth, speed, and surprise to defeat a far stronger enemy. The Vorks, with their superior technology and AI-driven armies, are not prepared for this kind of fight. They rely on their vast resources and robotic forces, but they are not ready to face humans who are fighting for survival, using the environment to their advantage. Lieutenant Quinn, Captain Nora Voss, Sergeant Ethan Drake, and Bonner have quickly learned that they cannot confront the Vorks in direct combat. Instead, they move silently through the ruins of Earth, using the remnants of human cities and the vast wilderness to conceal their movements. The super soldiers are equipped with advanced cloaking devices, making them nearly invisible to the Vorks' sophisticated sensors. This gives them the element of surprise and allows them to strike at the Vorks outposts before the enemy has time to react. Their first target is a Vork supply station deep in the forest, hidden behind layers of camouflage and sensors. The team moves silently through the trees, their cloaked forms barely visible against the backdrop of ruined buildings and broken vehicles. They approach the station under the cover of night, knowing that the Vorks are most vulnerable when they are distracted by their technology. The soldiers rely on their enhanced senses and training to remain undetected. Drake takes the lead, using his strategic mind to plan the attack. He has studied the Vorks' tactics and knows that they rely heavily on their AI-controlled drones for defense. He orders the team to disable the drones first, using EMP pulses from their suits. As the drones are taken offline, the team moves in, striking quickly and efficiently. Bonner leads the charge, tearing through the remaining drones with brutal force. His strength, combined with his advanced combat training, makes him a walking weapon. Every drone he faces is destroyed, leaving no survivors. The team moves in to finish off the remaining Vorks soldiers. They are human, just like Quinn and the others, but they are controlled by their AI general, Eros, and have lost all sense of humanity. Voss is a master of close-quarters combat, and her speed and precision allow her to take down Vorks soldiers silently, one by one. Each soldier she eliminates is another victory for humanity, and each victory fuels the team's determination to keep fighting. The first attack is a success, and the Vorks are left scrambling to find out who is attacking them. The super soldiers, however, don't give them that chance. They are already gone, moving to the next target before the enemy can regroup. As they hit more Vorks outposts, the team grows bolder. They take risks they wouldn't have considered earlier, pushing their limits. Each battle is intense, and every victory brings them one step closer to defeating the alien invaders. The camera focuses on Quinn as he leads his team through an old, war-torn city, now overtaken by the Vorks. This city was once a military stronghold, but it has fallen into enemy hands. The soldiers move cautiously, knowing the Vorks have adapted to their tactics. It's a dangerous game of cat and mouse as Quinn and Voss move ahead, scouting for the next target. As they approach an enemy base, Quinn turns to Voss, his face set in determination. "We can't let them regroup. This time, we hit hard," Quinn says, his voice steady despite the tension. Voss nods. "We strike fast. We don't give them time to respond." The Vorks commander stationed here is a formidable opponent. The team has learned that each Vorks base has a high-ranking officer who is responsible for the defense and coordination of the alien forces in the region. Taking down these commanders is crucial to breaking the Vorks' hold on Earth. As the soldiers infiltrate the base, they split up, each using their unique skills to get closer to the commander. Voss and Quinn make their way through the base's inner corridors, their footsteps light, their bodies cloaked. They move past security cameras and guards, taking them out silently as they go. It's a tense, quiet battle, until they finally reach the Vorks commander. The commander is a towering figure, heavily armored and carrying advanced weaponry. But despite his size and power, he is no match for the super soldiers. The confrontation between Quinn and the Vorks commander is brutal. The commander charges, his massive weapon firing rapidly, but Quinn dodges with inhuman speed, closing the distance between them. Voss moves in behind, her combat skills making her a blur as she takes the commander by surprise. In a series of fluid movements, she disables the commander's weapon, and Quinn lands a crushing blow to the alien's helmet, sending it flying off. The Vorks commander roars in anger, drawing his energy blade, but Quinn and Voss are too fast. Quinn's strength, combined with Voss's tactical brilliance, makes them an unstoppable team. In a final, intense hand-to-hand fight, Quinn lands a critical strike that incapacitates the commander. The Vorks fall, defeated, their commander's body crumpling to the ground in defeat. The victory is sweet, but it's not without cost. As the team prepares to leave the base, Bonner is gravely injured in a sudden ambush. A Vorks drone, hidden among the wreckage, catches Bonner off guard. It strikes him with a devastating blow, sending him flying back. The rest of the team rushes to his side as he falls, clutching his side in pain. "Bonner!" Voss shouts, rushing to help him. Bonner's face is twisted in pain, but there is no fear in his eyes. He's fought in countless battles, and he knows that injuries are part of the price of war. "I'm fine," he grunts, though his breathing is labored. "Just need a minute." But Quinn knows that time is against them. They can't afford to waste time tending to their wounds. The Vorix will be after them, and they need to keep moving. As Bonner is helped to his feet, the team decides to move out of the area quickly. They can't risk staying too long in one place. Despite the cost, the team's morale is higher than ever. They've struck a major blow against the Vorix, and they've proven to themselves that they can fight back. But the war is far from over, and the journey ahead will only get harder. The super soldiers are humanity's last hope, and they will stop at nothing to take back their planet. The team's next mission is the most dangerous they have faced yet, a direct assault on a Vorix stronghold. The intelligence gathered from their previous strikes has revealed the location of the Vorix's main weapon supply, a critical target that, if destroyed, would cripple their ability to launch further attacks on Earth. But this stronghold is heavily fortified. The alien defenses are the most advanced they've encountered, and the odds of success seem slim. The super soldiers are outnumbered, outgunned, and racing against time. As the camera pans across the soldiers preparing for their mission, there's a quiet tension in the air. Quinn, Voss, Drake, and Bonner know that this mission could be the turning point in their war. If they succeed, it could shift the balance in humanity's favor. If they fail, the Vorix will only grow stronger, and Earth's chances of survival will diminish even further. The night before the raid, the soldiers gather in a makeshift war room at their base. The glowing maps and digital screens show the layout of the Vorix stronghold. Quinn goes over the plan again, his mind focused and calculating. The team will infiltrate under the cover of darkness, using their cloaking devices to bypass the outer defenses. Once inside, they'll sabotage the weapon supply, no matter the cost. As Quinn finishes the briefing, he looks around at his team. Their faces are determined, but there's an unspoken understanding in the air. They all know that this mission could be their last. Bonner, who has been quieter than usual since his injury, speaks up. "I'm ready," Bonner says, his voice calm but full of purpose. "I've got your backs." There's a subtle shift in the room. Bonner's words carry weight. Even though he's still recovering from his injuries, he's willing to risk it all for the mission. His loyalty and bravery are unwavering, and his resolve strengthens the team's spirits. The next morning, the super soldiers launch their assault. They move through the desolate landscape toward the stronghold, their cloaking devices rendering them invisible to enemy sensors. The air is thick with tension as they approach the heavily guarded facility. The Vorix soldiers patrol the outer perimeter, unaware of the approaching threat. They slip past the guards undetected, using their superior training and technology to neutralize any enemies quietly. The closer they get to the heart of the stronghold, the more dangerous their mission becomes. The team has to split up to cover more ground and reach their target, the weapon supply depot. Quinn, Voss, and Drake move toward the main building, while Bonner takes a secondary path to disable the Vorix's communications. The plan is to disrupt their command structure, making it harder for the Vorix to respond once the sabotage begins. But the stronghold is filled with unexpected dangers. As Bonner moves through the shadows, he hears the hum of machinery, an advanced defense system activates unexpectedly, and a group of Vorix soldiers emerge from a nearby tunnel. Bonner is surrounded. But he doesn't hesitate. He knows what needs to be done. He draws his weapon, but as he opens fire on the advancing aliens, a missile turret locks onto his position. Without a second thought, Bonner throws himself in the path of the missile, detonating the device to ensure the others can carry out their mission. The explosion rocks the area, and the camera shows Bonner's body thrown through the air. Quinn, Voss, and Drake, hearing the blast, rush to the scene. They find Bonner lying on the ground, badly wounded but alive, his breath shallow and his eyes glazed over. "Bonner!" Quinn shouts, kneeling beside him. "What have you done?" Bonner looks up at Quinn with a faint smile. blood trickling from the side of his mouth. "I did what I had to do," he says, his voice weak. "You have to finish this, for all of us." The emotional weight of Bonner's sacrifice hits the team hard. Quinn feels his heart sink. Bonner wasn't just a soldier to him, he was a brother. They had fought side by side for so long that it was hard to imagine going forward without him. But they can't afford to stop now. Bonner's death has given them the time they needed to complete the mission, and his sacrifice can't be in vain. Voss, usually the strong and composed leader, struggles to hold back tears as she watches Bonner take his final breaths. Her jaw tightens with resolve. Bonner may be gone, but his spirit lives on in their fight. He gave everything so they could win, and now they have to honor that sacrifice. "We finish this," Voss says, her voice steady but full of emotion. "For Bonner. For Earth." Quinn nods, his face set with grim determination. "We fight on. For him. For everyone we've lost." With Bonner's sacrifice weighing heavy on their hearts, the team pushes forward. The final assault on the Vork's weapon supply is a blur of gunfire, explosions, and desperate resistance. The super soldiers are relentless, using their enhanced skills and determination to overcome the alien defenses. They move like shadows through the chaos, taking out the Vork soldiers one by one. Quinn, Voss, and Drake work seamlessly together, their bond stronger than ever. Every move they make, every strike they land, is fueled by the loss of their friend. Finally, they reach the weapon supply depot. Quinn places the charges, and as they retreat to a safe distance, he looks back at the facility. The massive explosion that follows is a beautiful and devastating sight, an entire supply of Vork's weapons reduced to rubble. The blast sends shockwaves through the stronghold, and the Vorks are left reeling. Their power has been severely weakened, and for the first time since the invasion, the super soldiers have a real chance of victory. As the team regroups, Quinn gives a stirring speech to his remaining soldiers. His voice, filled with emotion but unwavering strength, echoes across the wasteland. "We're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for everything we lost, our families, our cities, our future. And we'll fight until the end, because that's what humanity does. We survive. We endure. And we never give up." The camera lingers on Quinn's face as he speaks. His words are raw and heartfelt, resonating deeply with his team. They've lost so much, but their resolve is unbreakable. Bonner's sacrifice has shown them that victory is possible, but only if they continue to fight, no matter the cost. The soldiers stand together, their bond strengthened by the loss of a brother, ready for whatever comes next. The battle is far from over, but they know now that they are not just fighting for Earth. They are fighting for the future of all humankind. And as long as they breathe, the Vorks will never win. The air crackles with tension as the super soldiers make their final approach to the heart of the Vork stronghold, the towering, AI-controlled fortress at the center of Earth's last city. This is the final battle, the last chance for humanity to reclaim their home. The city, once filled with life and culture, is now a shattered monument to the Vorks' conquest. Their metallic structures and war machines litter the landscape, a stark reminder of the destruction they've wrought. The camera zooms in on the super soldiers, Quinn, Voss, Drake, and the remaining survivors, preparing for their most dangerous mission yet. They stand in the shadows, hidden by their cloaking devices, looking up at the towering fortress that looms above them. It's a cold, imposing structure made entirely of metal and glass, with AI-controlled defenses watching over every inch. In the sky above, automated drones patrol, ensuring that no one can approach without being detected. Inside, an army of robotic soldiers awaits, ready to fight to the last. "This is it," Quinn says, his voice steady but filled with a sense of finality. "We take this fortress down, or we die trying." Captain Voss nods, her expression determined. "For Bonner. For Earth." The team moves quickly and quietly, weaving through the wreckage of the city. Every step brings them closer to their goal. They can feel the weight of the mission pressing down on them. This is the final stand. They've come so far, but the hardest battle is still ahead. As they approach the fortress, Quinn signals for the team to stop. He activates his cloaking device, blending into the shadows. The others do the same. They'll need to move undetected if they have any chance of breaking through the fortress's defenses. They slip past the outer patrols, using their enhanced abilities to remain unseen. Each member of the team takes down any enemy in their path with swift, precise moves. The Vorix soldiers are no match for the super soldiers, but they must be careful. One mistake, one moment of exposure, and they'll be caught. They reach the outer gates of the fortress without detection. The gates are heavily guarded, but with their superior stealth tactics, they manage to bypass the security systems. Once inside, the team begins their assault, striking at key points to weaken the Vorix defenses. They work like a well-oiled machine, quick, efficient, and deadly. But the deeper they go, the more dangerous the opposition becomes. The Vorix AI general, who has been controlling the invasion from the start, is waiting for them. This general is a powerful being, an advanced artificial intelligence that commands an army of robotic soldiers and drones. It knows every move the team makes and has prepared for their assault. As the super soldiers make their way deeper into the fortress, they encounter increasing resistance, walls of drones, automated turrets, and robotic sentries that seem to be everywhere. Despite the overwhelming force, the team continues pushing forward. Quinn, with his knowledge of military strategy and tactics, leads the charge. He directs the team's movements with precision, using their cloaking devices and enhanced strength to strike with deadly efficiency. Voss and Drake are right behind him, taking down Vorix drones and robotic soldiers as they fight their way deeper into the heart of the fortress. Finally, they reach the inner sanctum, the control room of the Vorix AI general. The room is bathed in a cold, blue light, filled with holographic displays and rows of terminals. At the far end of the room, the AI general sits in a massive command chair, its face nothing more than a projection of glowing lights and digital patterns. It is a being of pure logic, its existence focused solely on domination and destruction. It has no empathy, no understanding of human emotions, it is a machine, and to it, the super soldiers are nothing more than obstacles to overcome. "You are too late," the AI general declares, its voice cold and mechanical. "Earth is already lost. You will be crushed beneath the weight of my army." Quinn steps forward, his heart pounding in his chest. He knows this will be the toughest battle of his life. This AI is unlike anything they've faced before, it's intelligent, calculating, and ruthless. But Quinn isn't afraid. He knows that humanity's greatest strength isn't just physical power or advanced technology. It's their emotions, their ability to feel, to love, to fight for what matters most. And that's something the Vorix AI will never understand. "This is not your world to control," Quinn says, his voice steady but full of defiance. "This is ours. We fight for our home, for our families, and will never give up." The AI general scoffs, its lights flickering in mockery. "Emotions are a weakness, Lieutenant. You will not win." With a sudden movement, the AI general activates the fortress's defenses. A wall of robots and drones rushes toward the team, their weapons charged and ready to fire. The battle erupts in an explosion of noise and chaos. Quinn and the super soldiers fight back with all their might, using their enhanced strength, speed, and combat skills to take down the Vorix forces. The air is thick with gunfire, explosions, and the clash of metal. But the true battle lies in facing the AI general itself. The super soldiers can fight the robots and drones, but they must outsmart the AI to win. Quinn realizes that the AI general is bound by logic, but it lacks the one thing that makes humans unpredictable: emotion. It cannot understand sacrifice, love, or the will to survive. It sees things only in terms of data and efficiency, but it can't grasp the essence of humanity. In a dramatic final showdown, Quinn faces the AI general alone. The general's robotic body towers over him, but Quinn stands his ground. The AI general launches a barrage of attacks, its mechanical limbs moving with lightning speed. Quinn dodges, using his knowledge of human emotions to outwit the machine. He knows that the AI cannot anticipate the chaos and unpredictability of human thought. Quinn makes his move, exploiting a flaw in the AI's programming. He delivers a blow to the general's control center, severing its connection to the Vorix forces. The AI general screeches in frustration as its systems begin to overload. Quinn takes a deep breath, knowing that the battle is almost won. With one final strike, he disables the AI general, and the fortress begins to collapse. As the Vorix stronghold crumbles around them, the team makes their escape. The orbital bombardments that the Vorix had used to devastate Earth are now turned against them, as their own systems are destroyed. The super soldiers make their way out of the fortress, victorious but exhausted. Earth's future has been secured, but the cost has been high. The city is in ruins, the world is forever changed, but humanity has won. Quinn looks out at the burning city, his heart heavy with loss but filled with hope. "We did it," he whispers. "We saved the world." The camera pulls back, showing the shattered remains of the Vorix fortress and the survivors standing tall against the ruins. It's a hard-won victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. Humanity has proven once again that they can survive, and that their spirit will never be broken. The final battle is over. The last remnants of the Vorix have been wiped out, their advanced technology and powerful forces no longer a threat to Earth. The dust settles, and the once scorched cities begin to slowly heal. In the distance, the sun rises, casting its light over the ruins of the Vorix stronghold. For the first time in years, the world feels like it might have a future. It's a small victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. And for the super soldiers, it's a moment of bittersweet relief. The camera pans over the destroyed city, now eerily quiet after the chaos of the battle. Once a vibrant hub of civilization, the city is now reduced to rubble, its once proud structures reduced to half-crumbled walls and scorched streets. Nature, however, is slowly starting to reclaim the land. Small shoots of green start to poke through the cracked concrete, a sign of life slowly returning to Earth. The world is broken, but it isn't beyond repair. Standing together on a hill overlooking the ruins, Lieutenant Quinn and the remaining super soldiers, Voss, Drake, and a few others, look out at the destruction. Despite their exhaustion, they stand tall. They've made it through the worst of it. Humanity has won, but the cost has been high. Bonner, the brave soldier and former scientist, is gone, sacrificed in the heat of battle. The team still feels the weight of his loss, and though they have succeeded, the hole he left behind will never be filled. Quinn turns to his team, his voice low but filled with pride. "We did it. Earth is ours again." Captain Voss, ever the fierce leader, nods. But the fight isn't over. We rebuild. We rise from the ashes. Sergeant Drake remains silent, but his eyes reflect the same thoughts as everyone else. They've just lost a brother. Their victory, though hard-earned, doesn't feel like a triumph. It feels like survival. But survival is still something worth celebrating, and they know that. They all take a moment of silence to remember their fallen comrades. In this moment, they aren't soldiers or leaders, they're humans. Each of them has sacrificed something precious. Whether it was their comrades, their humanity, or their own sense of peace, they've all given more than they ever thought possible. This quiet moment speaks volumes, more than words could express. As they stand there, watching the dawn of a new day, Quinn begins to reflect on everything they've been through. The last several months have been the hardest in human history, yet it has also shown humanity's greatest strengths: resilience, unity, and hope. Earth had been on the brink of total annihilation, but humans, small and seemingly weak compared to the Vorix, had fought back against impossible odds and won. It wasn't the superior technology that made the difference. It wasn't the advanced AI or cloaking devices. It was something much more powerful, the human spirit. Quinn looks down at the ground, his thoughts deep and heavy. I used to think we were nothing compared to them, he says, his voice distant. I thought we were weak, that we didn't stand a chance. But we do. We always did. Voss, standing beside him, places a hand on his shoulder. The Vorks underestimated us. They saw our emotions as a weakness, but that's what made us stronger than they ever imagined. Drake adds, our strength is in our unity. In our willingness to sacrifice for each other, and for everyone else. Quinn nods in agreement. And that's why we'll rebuild. That's why humanity will rise again. We'll be stronger than ever. This is just the beginning. There's a renewed sense of purpose in Quinn's voice. He has grown over the course of this journey, from a soldier desperate to survive to a leader with a vision for a better future. His role has evolved, just as humanity's role has changed from the desperate underdog to the resilient victor. They have proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humans will always find a way to fight back. In the distance, a group of survivors can be seen, picking their way through the wreckage of the city. They are the first wave of those who survived the Vorks invasion, a few hundred scattered humans who managed to escape the devastation. Quinn watches them with a deep sense of responsibility. The world they knew is gone, but the future is still there for the taking. It will be their job to rebuild it, one step at a time. We have a lot of work to do, Quinn says, turning to face his team again. But we'll do it together. We'll rebuild Earth, and we'll make sure that humanity's legacy is one of strength and hope. He turns and walks toward the group of survivors, his super soldiers following closely behind. The work ahead won't be easy. There will be challenges and hardships, and not every battle can be won in a day. But they have something the Vorks never understood, a will to survive and a drive to fight for what's right. As they walk into the city, sunlight breaking through the clouds above, a sense of peace settles over them. The journey has been long, and it has cost them dearly. But as they move forward, they know that the worst is over. The Vorks are defeated. Earth is free. The camera pulls back slowly, showing the ruins of the Vorks stronghold in the distance. The sky is clear, and the first green shoots of life are beginning to grow. Humanity has won, and Earth has a chance to heal. Quinn's voice rings out as the camera fades to black, this is just the beginning. The story ends with a hopeful tone, leaving the audience with a sense of optimism about the future. Humanity has faced its darkest hour and emerged victorious. With the Vorks gone and the super soldiers leading the charge, the world will rise again. It won't be easy, and it won't be quick, but humanity is ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. The camera fades to black, and the screen fills with the words, humanity's fight is never over.